WCBI News at 10 starts now.
We begin with new developments in a story we've been following in Calhoun County. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Allie Martin. Two Bruce school officials should have their day in court before the start of the new school year. Bruce Judge Ben Suber will preside over the cases of Superintendent Mike Moore and Bruce High School Principal Mike Gillespie. They're charged with failure to report claims of improper sexual contact between a former coach and a student. A probable cause hearing found enough evidence that the pair knew of the allegations but did not call police as state law requires. Circuit Judge Kelly Luther had contacted several circuit court judges in other jurisdictions about hearing the case, and they all declined. A court date has not been set, but could be as early as late July or early August. Things are getting back to normal on the MSU campus. The university activated its Maroon Alert system about 4 p.m., asking students in certain areas to evacuate to Allen Hall. That alert in response to a bomb threat naming a specific time and buildings. The buildings and the surrounding area were searched and cleared by campus police. Most of the affected buildings reopened this afternoon. Mitchell Memorial Library will reopen in the morning. Well, first responders often receive calls about those who've overdosed on drugs. Currently, only paramedics are allowed to treat those cases, but that is about to change. A new law that goes into effect July 1st will allow other first responders to administer a drug called Narcan to combat the effects of certain drugs. Quentin Smith has that story.
This can counteract whatever drugs they're using. This can help save a life. So, I mean, that's what we're in the business for.
Starkville Fire Chief Charles Yarbrough says with this new law, the state is taking a step forward to help combat the overdose epidemic here in the state.
I think it's a good idea. When we look at what's going on with the overdoses, with the addictions going on, I think it's something that the state is right now being proactive instead of being reactive, so that's a good thing.
If law enforcement officers, firefighters, or emergency medical technicians arrive to a scene and someone is overdosed on drugs, they now have the right to issue a treatment called Narcan spray. It counteracts the effects of the overdose. The treatment can be used in two different forms. It can be used as nasal spray.
Basic syringe, and you kind of square up the nose.
And it can also be injected into the muscle of the upper thigh or arm.
It's the auto injector. So basically you take it, you put it in the side of the leg, and it also injects it right into the bloodstream. So with one of those two, it has a counteracting effect of the drugs.
The medical treatment kicks in right away and starts working within minutes. Yarbrough says whether firefighters should be able to administer Narcan has been a topic of conversation for quite some time. Now, with the law being ready to go into effect on Saturday, he's eager to begin training his staff on how to properly use it.
Before we even do anything, we have an in-service with the hospital, which is our med control. So everything we do, we have to go through OCH to have med control. We have some type of class with them. We train on it. Right now we don't have any at all, so we have to get it in first. We do training on it, make sure all of our guys can do all to have any problem doing it. Once we get that taken care of, we'll go from there.
And the Mississippi Department of Health will create and offer training to first responders before they can start to administer that treatment. Another of those new laws will have a new requirement for passengers in your vehicle. Starting July 1st, everyone riding in your car will have to wear a seat belt. In the past, only front seat occupants were required to buckle up. The change also prohibits passengers from riding in the bed of pickups.
I don't know of many pickups or trucks that have seat belts in the back of the truck, so that would be illegal to ride back there because there's no safety restraint system back there. So we'll be looking at that, paying a lot more close attention to people riding in the back of pickups.
The proposed fine for riding without a seatbelt or riding in the bed of a truck is $25 per offense plus any court costs. The Starkville Police Department is postponing the grand opening ceremony for its new headquarters. The ceremony was originally set for Friday morning. That delay comes after reports of standing water in the basement of the building. Aldermen approved the more than $4 million project back in 2015 and moved out last year. Well, it's time for a first look at your forecast. We go now to meteorologist Amanda Reynolds. Amanda, it is hot out there.
That it is, and it's only going to keep warming up as we get into the beginning of next week, but it was a beautiful night tonight here in our area. We had a nice, beautiful sunset. This picture taken by Wayne, had another picture. This was taken by Steve out in Sulligent Lake, and another one, this was taken by Barbara out in West Point. So hopefully you got out and enjoyed it. We're going to start to see those chances for rain increase as we get closer to this 4th of July weekend. So temperatures out there right now, right in the mid-70s. We're going to see those rain chances move back into the forecast this weekend. We'll have more coming up.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Well, kids plus water usually equals summer fun. Some parents see splash pads as a good neighborhood alternative to beaches, lakes, or pools, but where there are kids, there are germs. WCBI's Victoria Bailey takes a look at how one city is keeping the splash pad clean and fun.
Come on, Nina.
Meet Nina Ferguson.
We are here to let them get cool.
She and her grandkids visit J.L. King Park Splash Pad a few times a week.
There's nothing much for them to do here, and I bring them out by once or twice a week and let them cool off and play.
Shalamark Simpson runs maintenance on the splash pad. He says keeping it safe for the community is a year-round job.
Going in and making sure that all of your pipes for the winter are taken care of appropriately and properly. And so once we do that, we're able to shut it down so the pipes and stuff will not bust during the winter, so we won't have no major issue. When the season starts back, we just make sure that all of our pumps and all of our water system is running appropriately and correctly. And so it's pretty much easy maintenance.
If you want to bring your family, you should note this. Most public splash pads aren't monitored around the clock, nor do they have a lifeguard on duty. Simpson says the department makes frequent visits and they rely on the public as an extra set of ears and eyes.
Yeah, well, the citizens in the community, they are pretty up to par, and so they make sure that things are safe, and parents are here all the time. They pretty much police the area, so they help us do our job and make life very easy for us.
If you see a problem, just call. The numbers to contact the rec department are posted on signs throughout the Splash Pad Park.
Director Herman Peters, he will take that call, and then he will more than likely give the information to Trent Hims. Trent Hims, who is the maintenance director, he will more than likely contact me, and then that's how we'll take care of an issue like that. And then we will look into getting the individuals that we need to get to rectify the situation.
And Ferguson says that's just what she will do.
If I see a problem, something that endangers the kids or something, I would call Park and Recreation, I would.
Reporting in Starkville for WCBI News, I'm Victoria Bailey.
And Simpson says in the event of an issue occurring, the rec department will immediately address the issue and actively work toward fixing that problem.
Showers and storms move back into the forecast this weekend, but tonight we'll see those clouds beginning to build in along with the humidity. Temperatures in the low 70s with a light southeast wind. I'll have the details on your 7-day coming up after the break.
Your First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Amanda Reynolds.
Lots of severe weather out in the plains this afternoon and evening. This was a tornado out in Iowa just west of Des Moines, so lots of severe weather out there. You can see all of these storm reports, 23 tornado reports as of just a few minutes ago. So they're having lots of severe weather. You can see all of those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings over the course of this afternoon. Back in our area, not a whole lot to see. We did have a few showers and storms down to our south, but as we lost daylight, they quickly dissipated and really moved out of our area. But you can see on our time lapse from here in Columbus, you can see the wind really started to pick up. We had a gust front come through, so that air right in front of those thunderstorms came rushing towards us, and we got left with a few of those really pretty clouds in the sky, a few mammatus clouds. You can see that gorgeous sunset in the background as well, so really a very beautiful night out there tonight. So then looking forward at our next graphic, if our computer will load, this picture from Macon, Mississippi, we had those storm clouds down to our south, and after the rain comes the rainbow. So this picture taken by Megan, this was here in Lowndes County. So again, just a beautiful, beautiful night out there, especially as you headed farther north. But again, in our area, those rain chances, we go into the weekend going to continue going up, though it won't rain all weekend. We'll see those showers and storms on and off through the 4th of July. We're going to see warm and steamy conditions as well. The water vapor, these blue shades are that moisture, and the orange shades is that dry air. So the moisture is coming our way, and it's bringing with it the showers and storms as well. You can see on Futurecast that moisture really starts to push into our area through the day tomorrow, as well into the days Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. So keep the chance for showers and storms through the 4th of July. So speaking of the 4th of July, again, this weekend, seeing those showers and storms, we're going to climb close to 90 degrees by the time we make it to Friday. But again, we do start to lower those rain chances. But tonight, we'll drop down to around 70 degrees, and those clouds start to fill in, and we start to build that humidity. But tomorrow, climbing into the mid-80s, and again, that chance for those showers and thunderstorms. But looking at your 7-day forecast, again, those rain chances stick around through the end of the middle and end of next week, but we're going to see temperatures in the 80s and close to 90 by the time we get to the 4th of July.
All right, thank you much, Amanda. And the 4th of July, as you mentioned, right around the corner, and the Louisville Fire Department and the Red Cross teaming up to keep people safe. The agencies held a workshop today at the Friends of Dean Park and Ollie Daly Community Center. It targeted people 7 to 18 years old. The fireworks safety camp is part of an effort to help make sure everyone has a safe 4th of July.
Fireworks are a big part of the 4th of July, and we just want to prevent kids from getting injured with fireworks. We want to show them how to safely do fireworks, light the fireworks, and we tell them not to throw them at each other or take them off the sticks and throw them.
Yeah, never throw them at each other. That's never a good idea. The kids also learned about fire safety, and they manned the pumper truck. Well, an all-SEC College World Series final goes the way of the Gators. Robbie recaps that action in sports. Welcome back, everyone. Summer is prime time for fun in the water. In tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we pick up a few tips to make sure that trip to the pool or water park does not end with a trip to the ER.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lee Richardson, an emergency room physician at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Tonight we will be discussing more water safety tips. While enjoying the water during summer, please remember to be safe to avoid a trip to the emergency room. Drink plenty of fluids. It's easy to get dehydrated in the sun, especially if you're active or sweating. Keep up with your fluids, particularly water, to prevent dehydration. Alcohol and water never mix. Alcohol is involved in numerous water-related injuries and up to half of all water-related deaths. The statistics for teenage guys are particularly scary. 1/2 of all adolescent male drownings are tied to alcohol use. If a child is missing, always check the water first. Seconds count in preventing death or disability. Know how and when to call 911. There are also safety tips to remember if you or your kids go to a water park. Of course, you will do more splashing than swimming, but it is still just as important to know your own and your child's skill level at the water park as it is the pool. Read the warning signs. Each area in the water park can have different depths of water, so please pay attention. If you or your children do not know how to swim, be sure to wear a Coast Guard approved life jacket when necessary, and be sure there's lifeguard supervision. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss boating safety tips.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Coming up, the high school football tour previews the French Camp Panthers. That is up next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
Tonight we break the double digits on the high school football tour as we preview our last 1A division school. That's French Camp. Pleasant surprise last year making it into the playoffs. Had a young team, and that should frighten opponents with what they have returning on the field this season as the Panthers stop number 10 of the tour.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and Emerson Animal Hospital, where your pets are family in West Point.
We're excited. We got 19 players coming back, and that hadn't happened in a long time. So anytime around here you get 19 guys back, that's a big thing. And a lot of those guys are here over the summer, and they're working, and that's another thing we don't get the luxury of having. So, and a lot of them are still young guys. So 10th graders last year and 9th graders that are moving on up, and so they had to play a lot last year, and so they have a lot of game experience. So we're really encouraged and excited about that, and some great leaders in that group.
You can hear it in head coach Nathan Wright's voice. He's eager for 2017. French Camp was young all over the field last year, yet the Panthers got into the playoffs for the 5th consecutive season. That combination makes for a belief in much more with the new season.
Obviously, it gives them a lot of confidence that, took a lot of lumps early in the year, and some guys that were fast junior high players realized they weren't as fast as they thought they were. And then to turn that corner and realize you got to be a little more physical, and then to mess around and get in the playoffs and catch some breaks, and then play well for a half, against Lumberton. Really gives you a lot of excitement and momentum coming into the next year.
For this year's French Camp team, the goal remains the same, and after that, anything can happen.
We always make it our goal to make the playoffs, so that won't change. Outside of that, once you get to the playoffs, one team's going to get hot at the right time and go on, and you pray that we'll be that team that can continue playing. So mainly we always set the goal to get to the playoffs. If we can make the first round, we feel like we got a chance.
The Panthers will start the season with back-to-back home games against MAIS foes Winona Christian and Starkville Academy. With French Camp on the high school football tour, Robbie Donahoe, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with French Camp Academy was brought to you by Bank of Kilmichael and WFCA.
Switching gears to baseball, and the Florida Gators are your national champions of college baseball for the first time in program history, and it's all because of Scott Strickland. That's why we think it is. But regardless, the Gators made their 11th appearance in the College World Series, and the 11th time was the charm as Florida outlasted LSU in Game 2, winning 6-1. It was that 8th inning that did in MSU against LSU. Well, it did in LSU against Florida last night, as the Gators put up 4 in the 8th. To salt it away. Florida, your national champions of college baseball. And because of how last night finished, Mississippi State's Brent Rooker became just the second ever to win the SEC's Triple Crown. That recognizes a player that leads the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Rooker's .387 average, 23 home runs, 82 RBIs, took it home for the now Pro Ball player. And the only other player to win the SEC Triple Crown, Rafael Palmeiro in 1984, so that means the only 2 SEC Triple Crown winners are Mississippi State's Bulldogs. Pretty cool distinction there. Hey, speaking of MSU, 2 reports from the baseball program. Jared Padgett will not be returning to the team. He had Tommy John surgery this past year, will not be returning to Starkville. Peyton Plumlee failed a drug test during the Super Regional, according to a report from the Clarion Ledger. That means he'll be forced to sit out the entire 2018 season. And Dion Pope not returning to the MSU football team this year. He's decided he will transfer to Jackson State. That's it for sports. Last look at your forecast.
Showers and storms move back into the forecast as we head into tomorrow, but start to increase the humidity as well. We'll see temperatures in the mid-80s tomorrow, but climbing up to the upper 80s for the weekend and close to 90 for the 4th of July.
Wow, so July is right around the corner, and it feels like it.
That it does.
Very good. All right, thank you for spending part of your Wednesday with us. We'll see you later.